This is just a bonus video. There's not enough video footage here to make it a full-length video, but I'm working at a custom stainless steel fabrication shop, and I'm putting all the refrigeration equipment into a refrigerator that they're making for someone, okay? Just some context here. The refrigerator is not finished whatsoever. The fabrication shop is going to cover everything, make everything, you know, fully up to code and everything, but you guys are going to see the rough installation of the refrigeration equipment and our crude way of verifying that the unit works and stuff. So we'll talk at the end of the video. This video is brought to you by Sporlan. Quality, integrity, and tradition. All right, I just got done wrapping up a custom installation. So this is a custom box that a stainless steel fabrication shop is making. Forgive the noise because there's a giant laser next to me being ran. So what they do is they build these boxes and then they ask me to load them with refrigeration equipment. Now what they'll usually do before they build the box, they'll go ahead and consult with me and we'll decide, you know, what size coils and everything like that. Essentially on this box right here, we put a 1700 BTU evaporator coil. Certainly the space inside here is not big enough for 1700 BTUs, but when it comes to reaching coolers, you're actually more concerned about airflow. We need that airflow to get over into this section over in here. That's why we have the diverter up in there. But we tend to oversize the evaporator coils just because we need the airflow to move around the box. Now this particular box is going to be a training box, but that's doesn't really matter. So the standard operation on this thing, so they kind of, you know, give me an idea of how they want it to work, and then I kind of change things as I'm going. But they have two power switches. Now you see one says coil, one says heat blanket. Well, they're still gonna fabricate a bunch of stuff, heat lamps and stuff like that up there. So I'm just wired into the coil. So my coil gets turned off by this switch. There's a liquid line solenoid valve inside there, and I'll take the coil apart in a minute and show you guys. But we have a temperature controller mounted right here with the sensors and everything all ran over there, up into there, inside the box. The temperature sensor's back down in there. You can see the drain line running over there. They're gonna clean a few things up. They'll, you know, scrub the inside of the box and all that stuff. But condensing unit, you know, set up right here. I have them fabricate these little S-channel brackets so that way it holds the condensing unit in place. I'll take you around the back side now. Now because this box is still in production, the electrical's really rough. The customer themselves have a lot of stuff that they're going to mount inside of here for lights and heat blankets and different things like that. So they'll still finish this up, and I just do, you know, basically my connections. And I tape up what I don't want them to undo when they hook up the electrical, so then I leave these ones loose. So when they hook up main power, they'll hook it up to these guys and leave my stuff alone. I've also got a junction box way back up into there. The condensing unit and the condensate drain pan heater is ran off of this receptacle so it can be unplugged. Now we've done a few of these boxes, and each time we change a few things with them. The next time, because we're kind of out of time on this one, the next time they're going to fabricate me a little stainless steel loop right here that's going to hold this drain line in there. We had to go with a taller bracket because these brackets right here get really hot just because they touch the drain pan, and over time they'll start melting this. So this one right here is actually a 1/4 inch above, so it's not touching any of the drain pan. We've got refrigeration lines right here. We'll probably come up with something to hold those in place. We also have one of those S channels back here to hold the condensing unit, so you know they can ship this box, move it in and out of a diesel truck and stuff like that, and they're not going to have to worry about anything. I also made enough of a refrigeration loop that you can slide. In fact, the entire condensing unit earlier, I had it out while it was still piped in and on top of that box sitting right here. So we have enough of a refrigeration loop that a service technician can come in here and work on this thing and not have to worry about it. The unit has a receiver. We have a TXV inside, sight glass right here. This is just a pre-built condensing unit. You know, I certainly didn't pick it. But we have pressure controls. We have a high pressure and a low pressure right here. Ran in series, so that way they run through each other. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So this is just, again, it's still rough because they still got to clean a lot of things and polish it up and make it look pretty. But this is a basic custom box that we do. I'll open up this evaporator coil because I've got the system running right now. I'm actually about to cardboard everything off so we can see it come down to temp. But I want to do a leak check first. So we're going to start it up and I'll show you guys the inside of the evaporator coil. Even though I know my braze joints are good, and even though the pressure test passed and the vacuum was good, I'm still going to do a refrigeration leak check because this box, I don't even know where it's going. It might be leaving the state for all I know. So I'm just leak checking all the braze joints that I did, and I tried to keep my braze joints to a minimum. I already checked underneath this insulation. So I made a one-piece loop, so there's a braze joint right here, there's a braze joint right here, and then it's a solid line set all the way to right there. These two braze joints right here. So then you don't have to worry about, you know, refrigerant leaks anywhere else. The coil is nice and compact. I like these REMK coils because they have so much space inside there. But you can see we got the sensing bulb insulated, TXV is accessible. You have to kind of make a decision. Do you want the power head accessible or the adjustment stem accessible? The power head can still be replaced where it is. There's still room back behind there, but you can see the temperature sensor down there. But yeah, we're all good. We're gonna go ahead and cardboard this off and watch this thing come down to temp. Just a temporary solution, taped everything up. Box temp is at 38 degrees. It's about ready to satisfy. So all is looking well. I usually tell the customer to leave it plugged in overnight, and as long as it's down to temp, it's got the green light in the morning. So I just thought that was an interesting video I'd put up. I do all kinds of work over the years for this custom shop. And I've actually done this identical box a few times, but each time we do the box, we change a few things. We make it better. We improve upon things. We add new electrical boxes, trying to make it more, you know, seamless or fluid or whatever you want to call it. But it's just interesting. It's kind of fun to be able to turn off the crazy of normal service calls and stuff and go work at a facility where I can actually drive my van up. I couldn't show too much in the video, but there was a giant bay door and my van was parked right there. So, you know, I could leave my van unlocked, the doors open the entire day and a half that I was there, you know, go back and forth. And it's also interesting too, doing this kind of work, because it's not like you go there and you get it done in 10 minutes. Like, you know, I go there with a box that's halfway completed. So as I'm working, I'm having the fabrication shop make things, you know, and then I have to wait for them to make something. I go do lunch. I go run to a supply house while they fabricate different things for me, different brackets and new drain pans. Like for instance, this one, the drain pan, on those standard Heatcraft coils, the drain pan came out the bottom. Well, that wasn't going to work with the setup that we had, so I had them custom fabricate a drain pan where it came out the side, and hence why if you go back in the video, you guys will see that the drain pan's coming out the side now. So it's kind of cool because you're not constricted so much by the design of the evaporator coil. You know, I can actually have them almost fabricate anything that I need. So, and then, you know, we learn from these jobs too, because each one, it's like, hey, you know, that drain pan, it sits a little too high. So they're going to try to drop it down as low as possible on the next one that we do, which will probably be in another 6 to 8 months. You know, so each time is an evolution, and we, you know, kind of change things and try to make the box better and better. You know, the condensing unit, we bought a pre-packaged condensing unit that already had the sight glass and dryer installed. You know, not my favorite, but you know, we put that in there, and like the temperature controller, I usually don't use the Johnson pen temperature controllers, and there's nothing against them. I'm just more of a KE2 fan, the Ketatherm ones, but the particular customer that this is going to uses those Johnson pen A419 controls all the time. So it's like, I thought it fitting to go ahead and put in what they use all the time, because that's what their technicians are comfortable with, you know? And then you get to put some thought into making these. So could you imagine every single refrigerator, for those of you that do restaurant work, right? I'm sure you guys have all worked on a refrigerator and been so pissed off because the way it was designed, right? So it's really cool to be the guy that's designing it, you know, to have a say in the design, because then it's like, hey, I'm going to make a one-piece line set where there's no braze joint in between. And hey, I'm going to make a refrigeration service loop that's long enough that I can pull the entire condensing unit out to clean it. Like, that's cool for me to be able to do that, you know? I get to address the things that I want to do. And it's neat too, because, you know, I don't have to be so crazy with like the electrical cord that's running from the temperature controller to the evaporator coil, because the customer is going to custom fabricate pieces to cover that up to make it look perfect, you know? So it's really neat to have to, or to be able to be part of projects like this. And I've certainly done some other really cool stuff at this shop, but unfortunately there's some things, because of, you know, just the sensitive nature of where the boxes are going and, you know, what
client they're going to, you got to be careful what you film on this stuff too, because you can mess with some people's privacy stuff. And I'd really like to take you guys on a tour of their stainless steel shop, because it's ridiculously awesome. They have 2 giant lasers that they basically have guys sitting at computers all day long just coming up with these designs, and the things they can cut out with these giant lasers is so awesome. It's so neat to be able to see what they can do. And it's really interesting also because I've grown up working at this shop since before I was even officially an HVAC tech. I remember going to the shop with my dad. So I've seen them evolve from a shop that just had, 20 people to 30 people to 60 people to 90 people, whatever. And, they've expanded the shop, and it's really cool to be a part of that kind of stuff. And it's really neat. So anyways, I just thought I'd bring you guys along on this one, and just something neat. We'll have a normal video, on the normal schedule and stuff. So this is just a bonus one, but hey, really appreciate you guys, and we will catch you on the next one. Okay.